Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. We're about to do our first movie review, and it's on Spider-Man Far From Home, which I went to see with my girlfriend Lex. She's going to be joining us today to review it. So we thought we'd do it by concentrating on the good parts and then concentrating on the bad parts, and then we'll give our review at the end. I'll give my score, you give your score, and we'll agree on a score for how good it was, I guess. We went to watch it a few days ago, so might forget a few things, so you might have to bear with us. Ideally, we want to be doing these review videos straight after we've watched them pretty much, so it's fresh in our brain, but we've been busy, not had a chance to do it, so we're going to try our best, aren't we?
Yep.
Obviously, if you've seen nothing about this film, then watch the trailer that I'm going to link in the description below. And if you're still here, I assume you have watched the trailer, or at least the film. And if you've not even watched the film, then obviously this video is going to be filled with spoilers. So if you don't want to get it ruined for you, I probably wouldn't recommend watching this video.
I'm going to say this Endgame spoilers as well.
And Endgame spoilers as well. So if you've not seen that, then again, it's your choice, but you've been warned. You got all the reviews off websites, didn't you?
Yeah, we're going to start with the ratings from Google. If you type in Google Spider-Man Far From Home, it comes up with a little box, and it says that IMDb rated it 8 out of 10. Rotten Tomatoes is 9 out of 10 with 90%. That's loads. Metacritic got 69%, and 95% of Google users enjoyed the film. Obviously, they're like live, so they can change. So in a month's time, they might go down. But
it gives
that's
you a good
pretty
idea,
good.
It gives you a good idea. Like,
yeah,
obviously, it's fresh out in cinemas pretty much.
Yeah.
So that's pretty good going.
Yeah,
straight
really
away.
good.
So that's their reviews and their scores. Now we're just going to go through a few goods and bads about the film, pretty much, aren't we? So the first good that comes straight into my mind is the villain, Mysterio.
Yeah, really good.
I thought it was awesome. Like, I loved the fact that it was basically just a normal person like me and you. He had no special abilities. He didn't get bit by a radioactive spider. He didn't go have an accident or anything like that gave him powers. It's just your average guy that's really good at special effects. He's invented his own special effects like machines. So maybe not your average guy, because he's obviously really clever. But apart from being smart, there's nothing else special about him, really.
I thought when he flew through the elemental and he was injured, that's when he turned bad. But I was wrong. It was bad from the off. It was bad from the off because...
Well, no, because it was all right. Like I say, like I just mentioned, he invented the special effects machines that Tony Stark used in what Iron Man was it? Is it Iron Man 3?
I'm not sure it's the one that he was using to
where
like,
he flashes
look
back
at
to his family or something.
Yeah, his family.
Yeah, I think it might be Iron Man 3.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that the turning point in the film wasn't an injury or something bad. It was in the past.
Yeah.
So from the start of the film, he was a baddie pretending to be a goodie.
So it links into the other Iron Man as well. Obviously, Spider-Man's a bit of a follow-on from Iron Man, isn't it? With Peter Parker looking up towards Tony Stark and stuff like that, and Tony Stark obviously bringing him into the Avengers. So it's a bit like a follow-on from Iron Man in a sense. So it's good that it links back to the previous films like that, and that's where a lot of characters come from in this. A lot of the villains in this film come from old films where they've been thrown a bit of shade, and the people that you wouldn't expect, like something happens to them in this film, and the audience would think nothing else of it. So like they'll grab a random scientist and just throw him to the floor and tell them that they're useless, basically. And then it's that scientist that's come into this film and has basically formed a team to take down, like,
Tony Stark's legacy.
Yeah, Tony Stark's legacy. That's a good way to put it. I thought the film was funny.
Yeah.
Pretty much all the way through it. Obviously, Ned, hilarious throughout the entire film. Probably the funniest character for me, 100%. But then there's other bits that Peter Parker has as well and stuff like that, and just other characters in the background. I was laughing throughout the whole film. Pretty loudly as well in the cinema.
I do think Marvel do comedy quite well. Like, they have done a film, but we couldn't remember which one it was, that was trying to be too funny.
Yeah.
Although I felt like when we watched Justice League, they were trying to be funny. It wasn't funny. But
although we don't,
we watched Ragnarok, and I thought that was really good. Really
we don't mind that too much, but a few people have said to me like, "Oh, I didn't enjoy that film because they just tried to force humor on it," whereas I don't actually mind that. I quite like humor in films and stuff like that, so I will tend to laugh at most things, to be fair. So yeah, I don't mind that. But a few people have brought that up and said, "Oh, I didn't like it because it was like they was trying to force humor down your throat." But I don't think they could say that about this because it wasn't overly funny.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't sat there laughing throughout the entire thing, but at certain points I was.
I thought the plot was really good. It was good from straight away. I mean, I liked that they kept the same characters in it. It followed on with, obviously in the first one, it was a big part of him being in school with his friends. Obviously Ned was still in it, MJ was in it, Flash was in it. Do you know the kid that's like always like, oh, Peter Parker, you suck. Ooh.
Like the bully.
Yeah, not like a bully,
the
but
cool kid.
yeah,
but
the cool kid.
Yeah.
I liked that they kept that going. I liked that they basically going on this school trip and Nick Fury tries to get him to help him. He's like, no, I want to join the trip. So then they changed the trip to come with it. I liked that rather than them being like, oh, keep flying between the two or just sacking that off. They follow on the story really well, I think.
Yeah.
Obviously, the twist at the end was really good.
Like we touched on it a bit, talking about Mysterio as the villain. That we like the backstory to why he became the villain, because basically Tony Stark, this special effects was his life's work, and Tony Stark used it for this to show this family thing in one of the Iron Mans, and then gave it a stupid name which I can't remember what it was.
Heidi?
No, that was the glasses,
Edith.
wasn't it? That was the glasses.
Oh yeah.
He's talking about the special effects. He gave it a stupid name that were offensive, and that really bothered who does become Mysterio.
Yeah.
And that's why he becomes a villain, basically. So I like that it touches back onto the old films like that, and it had a deep running, like plot, like story, in it as well. I thought they did that really well. You know, it wasn't just made up on the spot kind of thing, like someone's just appeared in this film, oh, I don't like Spider-Man, and they're trying to kill him, kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, I liked that the story followed quite well from Endgame. I mean, like, obviously, Iron Man was like a bit, well, Tony Stark was a father figure to Peter Parker, in a sense. Obviously, he's lost him, and Mysterio comes along, and Spider-Man's like, great, you know, it kind of links on, like, he's got that void in his life, and he needs someone to fill it, and this person comes along, and he's great, and that's...
Yeah, he takes advantage.
Yeah, like, he takes advantage of it. But I also like that it wasn't like he took advantage and that was the plan all along, because it wasn't really. Obviously, he didn't know that he got the glasses, and he really liked Spider-Man, and I liked that. It weren't just like bits and bobs everywhere that just, you were like, where does that come from? Who's this guy?
Yeah, he didn't even really want to kill Spider-Man, did he? Or try to kill him. He just literally wanted Edith, which was the glasses that Tony Stark left behind for him, which basically controlled all of Tony Stark Industries,
satellites, everything.
arsenal, basically.
Yeah.
And that's all he wanted. He didn't actually want to kill Spider-Man, really. Like you said, he actually quite liked him. So yeah, that was a good plot for the film. And obviously it was a good twist that Mysterio, who was the good guy, that was going to be the new protector of Earth, pretty much.
Yeah,
like
that's why he gave the glasses.
The new Iron Man. He was going to be basically the new takeover from Iron Man, protector of Earth. And then, like you said, Peter Parker grew to trust him and also believe that he was going to be the new protector of Earth. And that's why he gave him the glasses. Which I like that he didn't like take them by force. You know, he earned Peter's trust, etc. And then got given the glasses. So that was a good twist. That obviously he then turns out to be a baddie. Although I've got something to add on to that later on down the line. And then the film really did well to carry on from Endgame and explain what life was like since Endgame, like how they've managed to cope and what they've had to do to cope, I guess.
There's a kid in the class that wasn't in the like blip or whatever it was called where half the population was wiped out. So he grew up. So in the, was it 3 to 5 years or something?
I think it was like 3 years.
Well, I thought it was 5 because they were saying he was really young. But anyway, it doesn't matter.
One of them.
Basically, he wasn't the half that disappeared. Was majority of the class, including Spider-Man, Ned, MJ, whatever his name is, Flash. They all disappeared. So they had to start school at the level that they was at, even though technically they should be 5 years in front or 3 years in front. But there was a kid in it, Brad, I'm pretty sure his name was Brad. He was a young kid before that happened, but they were in class with him. So that was strange, but they explained that, and that was good, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Really, really good.
And then we also touched on the fact that it's linked well with the other Iron Man films. We touched on one bad guy that was one of the main scientists for him that was in Iron Man 1. But then there was people out of Iron Man 2 and then Iron Man 3 as well. And they've all come together as a team to fight against Tony Industries, I guess.
Yeah.
Stark Industries. To bring that down and bring Tony's legacy down, really. So that was good that, you know, the people that we've seen before, but we just thought they were nobodies, and now they've turned out that this evil organisation kind of thing.
Yeah, it was good.
Have you got any more goods to add?
No.
I think we've covered pretty much most of the goods. So that means we're going to move on to the bad points. And to be fair, I don't really have many bad points to say about it.
No, we've got like 2.
I've rattled my brain because obviously every film has got a bad point. But I did struggle. One bad point I came up with, and it's not even really fair to the film because it's not the film's fault. I mean, I guess it's the way they did the plot. They could have just started with Mysterio being a baddie from the start. But my one bad point is the fact that I wish I didn't know who Mysterio was before watching this film. So I knew he was a baddie before I'd even been to watch this film.
Yeah.
So obviously, like we've said, the film starts, Mysterio's a good guy,
And you're like,
and then there's a twist, and he turns into a bad guy. So if you didn't know who Mysterio was, you'd be like, oh my god, what a twist.
yeah, like I said, that elemental
You wouldn't
came,
expect it.
and that's when I thought the turning point was, but it wasn't.
But because I knew that he was a bad guy when I went to see the film, so when he was being this good guy, I was just waiting for him to turn bad, basically.
Yeah.
And then as soon as he turned bad, I was like, there we go. Rather than, oh my god, you know what I mean, shocked that the film wanted to be like. So it's not really the film's fault, apart from maybe the plot. You know, they could have just started the film with Mysterio being bad from the start.
Yeah.
But I did enjoy the plot, so I'm glad they did it that way. But I just wish I didn't know who Mysterio was.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I mean, like I said, we went to see it with Lewis's sister. She didn't know, and she thought the twist was really, really
Exactly. So she was shocked, where we was just waiting for it to happen, pretty much.
good. Yeah.
But
But that's not the film's fault.
No,
The way they did it was amazing. The
that's
twist
our
was
fault for
great.
being nerds.
Yeah. Yeah. And I'm saying that's your fault, Daniel.
And then, obviously, we've both agreed that we don't like the iron suits that Spider-Man has now. Obviously, all the tech that has been given by Tony Stark. We prefer, obviously, we grew up with Tony Maguire as Spider-Man, the very first Spider-Man.
Tony. It's Toby.
That's because I'm just on about Tony Stark. Tobey Maguire. God damn it.
Yeah.
We grew up with Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man. Yeah, it's late, I'm tired, alright? We grew up with Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man, which was basically, he got bit by the spider, he had all the powers. Tobey Maguire, Peter Parker, was Spider-Man, and he just put on a suit
latex suit. You know,
to
latex.
disguise
Spandex.
himself, and that was it. Whereas, and then obviously it moved on to Andrew Garfield. All of a sudden, he can't do his own webs, and he's got to have that web shooters put on. And then it's gone to Tom Holland, that version of Spider-Man, and it's gone even more that Spider-Man's the suit rather than Peter Parker, the human. So I don't like that. Dog farted.
Yeah, it stinks.
Jesus.
I thought it was you, but I was like, what is
That's
that?
what That's why I stopped. Speaking because it hit me, I was
just
like,
every
oh
note
my
of
days. There he is, like little sting. What was I saying? That's thrown me off. Yeah, we don't like the iron suits. It's just made it where it's like Spider-Man is the suit rather than the person, the human, Peter Parker. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like Tom Holland's Spider-Man can fight. He's got a little tingle Spidey sense, and I think he can climb himself. Or is that the suit? I think he can climb. I have no idea.
He's on the ceiling, isn't he? Oh, but he's wearing the suit. But it is the spandex suit, not the special suit.
I think he might be able to climb them, but he obviously can't do webs himself, which I preferred when Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man could do the webs. And I know it's more accurate now to the comics because that's what it's like in the comics. There's like Iron Man tech stuff. And then obviously I don't like that he's got all these extra features like flipping shooting lasers out of his eyes.
Then that like the claws that come out his back and
the big spider legs that come out.
Fly. He's not Spider-Man anymore. It's stupid.
It's like Iron Spider. Yeah, that's basically what it is. It's like you can't say any better than saying Spider-Man's the suit now.
Basically, Iron Man does not need to be in it because Spider-Man is a hybrid between Iron Man and Spider-Man. It's just not good.
So we much prefer just the plain Jane Spider-Man.
I mean, yeah, they got the black suit in it, and the outfit was crap. I'm here to see Spider-Man's suit. I love it. And I know, I get the point.
Don't get me wrong, all the Spider-Man suits, like the Iron ones, they look sick. They look really good. Like,
yeah.
So if they can make the suits look that good, when they've done this Black Knight monkey suit thing, I just thought it was crap. It literally looked like he had some woolly like hat on over his face.
Ski mask on.
And just like pretty crap. Like I feel like it was minimum effort. I mean, he wasn't used that long in the film, to be fair.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why. But yeah, I didn't like that. And then you didn't like either how he could create his own suit and put his own weapons onto it.
Like like in Homecoming, obviously he's got that training wheels protocol that's on his suit. Suddenly he's in the suit, in the ship. He can put flipping rocket launchers, lasers, all sorts on it, and he can make the suit in like an hour.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the hell. What's the point in his auntie washing his at home when he can just make another one in an hour on flipping ship? And like I know that it's advanced technology, but no.
We just like the plain Jane Spider-Man where he wears a suit for a disguise. He doesn't wear the suit for his powers.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? That's the best way we can say it. So,
yeah.
But again, I guess that's not really this film's fault because that is like that in the other Spider-Man as well.
Yeah, it's the comics.
So yeah, they're just trying to follow the comics a bit more. But we prefer the plain Spider-Man. But that's pretty much the only bads I can say.
Yeah, definitely.
Pretty good film. Definitely recommend going to watch. So like we said at the start, we'll give our ratings for the film. I'm going to go first. We'll both give our ratings and then see if we're somewhere close. And we'll try and take an average in the middle. So Spider-Man Far From Home, I'm going to give that an 8 out of 10. Good film.
Yeah, I agree. 8 out of 10. It's not a 9 or a 10. It's just missing something, and I think it's action, like fight scenes.
Yeah.
It's got fight scenes, but it's not like the hand-on-hand combat sort of thing, because he's basically fighting a cloud.
Basically, it's like, obviously, it's Mysterio doing a lot of the fighting, but because it's special effects, it's basically a dance routine, isn't it?
Yeah.
Although I did like that fight scene at the end where he has to use his Peter Tingle or something.
Peter Tingle, yeah.
Which is the Spider Sense new name, which I don't really like. To be
honest.
I
like it. It's cringe, and that's what I like.
I'm not a fan.
I like it because it's the cringe.
Spider Sense.
Yeah, but that's what his Aunt May's calling it, and it's cringy.
Yeah,
and he finds it cringy, and that's what I like because it's funny.
I'm calling it Spider Sense. So at the end, he uses his
Peter Tingle.
He uses that to fight, so obviously he's not distracted by all the special effects going off, and he basically is dodging all these drones and just beating them up and fighting them. And that's a really good scene, and that's obviously the best fight scene because it's actually a fight scene, like he's actually fighting them. Yeah. Whereas the other one's like you go to punch him and then poof, it disappears because it's not actually really there. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. It's just like something.
So I can't really put my finger on why I've knocked 2 points off of it, but it's definitely not a 9 out of 10 film. And it's obviously not a 10 out of 10 film.
But it's really
it's
good.
really good. Definitely recommend going to watch it if you've not already. We both give it 8 out of 10 then.
Yep.
Obviously, this was our first movie review. We'll only get better, I should hope.
Yeah.
So you might need to bear with us a bit. But I think the next one we're going to watch is probably Lion King.
Yeah.
So we'll do a review on that. And we'll try and do it straight after. If not the day after, so we've got a bit more clarity in what actually happened. Because I'm trying to think back to what happened in Spider-Man now, and it's a blur. I'm not gonna lie, it's a blur.
Yeah. So if you've got any comments or suggestions, improvements, we'd love to hear about them. Please put them in the comment section.
Yeah, obviously, if we've said anything that you don't agree with about the film, let us know in the comments. If we've missed anything off that you think we should have said, let us know again in the comments. And hopefully we'll see you for the Lion King review. Or any other video, to be fair. Come and watch them all.